This is Kenya News Update today. What if I told you that young men from Ghana are being lured to their deaths in a war that isn't theirs? Coming up, you'll discover how over 270 Ghanaians were tricked into fighting for Russia and Ukraine, and why this shocking recruitment scheme is tearing families apart across Africa. Meet the families left behind. Meet the government officials scrambling for answers. This is a story of deception, desperation, and a death toll that keeps rising. And here's the twist. This isn't just happening in Ghana. It's a continent-wide crisis. For months, reports have surfaced of African men being promised jobs in Russia, only to find themselves handed a rifle and sent to the front lines in Ukraine. Ghana's foreign minister, Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, just returned from Kyiv with devastating numbers. He revealed that 272 Ghanaians are believed to have been lured into battle since 2022. But here's the part that will blow your mind. At least 55 of them have been killed, 55 lives lost, 2 captured as prisoners of war. This is not our war, and we cannot allow our youth to become human shields for others. That's the minister's powerful statement. But how did this happen? The promise of work, a better life, a ticket out of economic hardship. These are the baits used by shadowy recruiters operating on the dark web. Ghana's government says it's now tracking and dismantling these illegal schemes. They're intensifying public education, warning young people against the temptation. The 2 captured Ghanaians themselves are sending a warning: don't be fooled by the money. But here's what nobody's talking about: the scale. This is a massive, coordinated operation. And then, something shocking happened. This week, South Africa's government confirmed 2 of its citizens have also died on the front lines. This is separate from a group of 17 South Africans who were tricked and mostly brought home. And the investigation goes right to the top. Dujazal Zuma Sambudla, a daughter of former President Jacob Zuma, is being investigated for allegedly luring more than a dozen South African men to Russia. The plot thickens. Now, zoom out to Kenya. A Kenyan intelligence report says more than 1,000 Kenyans have been recruited to fight for Russia. Over 1,000. Kenya's foreign ministry has rescued 27 who were stranded. Their foreign minister plans to visit Russia in March for urgent talks. The Ukrainian foreign minister dropped another bombshell. He says more than 1,780 Africans from 36 different countries are currently fighting in the Russian army. This is a seismic shift in a global conflict. African bodies on European battlefields. For what? Russia denies any illegal recruitment. They call it voluntary. But the families in Accra, in Nairobi, in Johannesburg tell a different story. A story of broken promises and broken bodies shipped home in caskets. The implications are huge. This creates serious diplomatic tensions between Moscow and African capitals. Some say these men are economic migrants making a choice. Others say it's a form of modern-day exploitation, preying on the vulnerable. But here's the unanswered question. If over 1,780 Africans are really fighting, how many more will die for a cause they don't understand? The controversy is just beginning. Ghana has economic ties to Russia. Kenya is planning talks. South Africa is investigating. The stakes couldn't be higher for African sovereignty and the value of African life. Do you think African governments are doing enough to protect their citizens from being lured into foreign wars? Drop your take in the comments. Subscribe to Kenya News Update today for more breaking international news that hits close to home.